One area with VEX123 that we did not go over yet, and that is VEXcode 123, specifically programming examples. Let's look at some. We begin by opening up VEXcode 123. Remember that there's VEXcode, and then a subset or stripped down version is VEXcode 123, because the 123 robot only has very limited functionality, and so the entire instruction set, command blocks, control blocks, etc., are not available for the 123. You could say that VEXcode is context sensitive to that little programmable puck. Specifically, what I wanted to talk about was the programming examples. I'm going to go over to File, Open Examples, and here's some programming examples. Now, as a PLC programmer, industrial computer automation programmer, I started by looking at other people's programs. You know, the code made sense, but then when I would troubleshoot other people's programs, I learned a lot. It behooves you to look at some of these programming examples as you're learning. Avoiding obstacles. I'll just pick that one for lack of a better. Now notice this came up with the drivetrain, or the command blocks kind of overshadowing the code back there. If you click on this little icon down here in the lower left corner once, it eliminates the menu on the left. If you click on it again, it comes back, but it moved over the code. This is real simple code. Let's look at it real quick. Well, first of all, there's always a when started, and these gray blocks, these are comments. This allows you to type in some kind of description, but they have no function whatsoever. When started, and then there's a forever loop. If you look at the forever loop and go down the left side of it, you'll see it goes all the way down the bottom, and then goes over to the right, and it has a arrow that swings back towards the top. Whenever you see an arrow like that down at the bottom, that means it's going to return in that loop. Forever run this program. And if you read the text in the description there, if the eye sensor detects an obstacle, the blocks in the if branch will run. Okay? Will run. If it doesn't detect an object, then it's going to go down to the second component of the if then else command. If the eye finds an object, then drive in reverse for one step, turn right 90 degrees, and then drive forever. Backing up to if then, if the eye found an object is not true. In other words, if it doesn't find an object, then you don't do the then, you do the else. Drive forward. Basically, this starts right out by, when you turn on the robot and you tell it to start, if it sees something in front of it, it's going to back up one step, rotate to the right, and then take off driving forward. And it will take off driving forward until it sees an object. And when it does, it's going to reverse for one step, rotate 90 degrees, and then start driving forward. It'll do it forever. It'll just bounce around in whatever confinement you gave it. You can enhance this little bit of code to do a few other things, but this is just an example. We'll kill this one, and we'll do another example. Let's do displaying colors, drive until crash, drivetrain moves and turns, move until dark line. We'll pick that one. Again, it comes up with the menu for the commands blocking the code. I don't know why it does that, but it does it. I click twice on that down in the lower left corner. This is almost too simple to even look at. Drive forward until the line sensor detects a line. You just set your little bot down there. You go up here, you hit the start button, and it goes forward until it finds a line. And see, drive forward until it finds a line. A crash or an object. In this case, we're doing a line, and then it plays the sound. Now, there's no end to this program. It's going to drive forward until it finds a line, and it's going to stop and play the doorbell. That's it. Not a real elaborate example. Let's see if there's anything more interesting. I should have looked at these in advance. Waiting between commands, while loops. Oh, let's try using math. And we do our little double click down here at the bottom, left corner. Drive forward and turn while using the operator blocks. Drive forward for 2 times 2 steps. Okay? You could substitute 4 in there. 2 times 2 is 4. Move forward for 4 steps. Wait 3 seconds. Turn right for basically 90 degrees. 180 divided by 2. This is not very interesting. But again, it gives you some examples of how you can use these operators and commands. I did not look these examples over using threads. This looks more interesting. Well, this is using the display. So you do have a display that you can monitor. So you can monitor sensors, variables, and if you use the print command, set print precision to that context, and then anytime it says print, it's going to print whatever is in here, main thread count, but it's going to appear over here. I don't use the print function, but it is a good demonstration of using VEXcode. Let's leave it there. This is a much more interesting example where you're actually changing values on the fly. Set distance to travel to 1. Set angle to turn to 90. Okay, these are variables. Distance to travel, angle to turn. Those are variables. See, and if you drop down the arrow, it's going to list all the variables. So you created these variables, and now you pick them. So you set this, drive forward for distance to travel, turn right angle, and now you're going to change. In other words, you're going to set distance to travel to 2. It was 1. And you're going to set the angle to turn to 180. It was 90. This is changing values of a variable on the fly. This is a decent example. I think we're going to leave it there for the examples, and we're going to start doing the recordings for VEXGO. So how do you use these examples? Well, you connect your laptop or computer to your little VEX123 robot puck, and you open up these examples and you run them on the little VEX puck. And because in the code on the graphical user interface, it highlights what instruction or command is being executed, the learners can watch it executing the code simultaneously with the behavior of the puck and learn a lot. Then you can have them take any example and you can assign them, I want you to alter that code to do such and such. And this is a really good way to learn how to use VEXcode.